The golden sky of Kansas gleams like a trophy as Chris reaps his rewards. He's soaking up the last remaining moments before he trades the Kansas plains for the Missouri fields, leaving Casey to fly solo on the Kansas 4K. When you grow up with an older brother as a lifetime hunting partner, you get accustomed to sharing strategies, support, and hunting land. With Chris searching for bucks in Missouri, Casey finds himself in a rare state of hunting 4,000 acres alone. But the Reconyx trail cameras give him the extra eyes he needs to gather intel on new bucks.
A brand new day. Give a spark of fire. Keep me warm at night. Feed my hunger until I live another day. Oh, give me spark of fire. Oh, give me spark of fire.
My first night having the pleasure of sitting inside the junkyard. This is a really cool spot. There's been a lot of big deer coming through here, a lot of old, mature big deer. Obviously Chris was in here. He was hunting pretty hard in here. He had a lot of different deer coming through. He sat it out, played his cards right, and smoked a big old deer yesterday. Got Papa Booey on the ground. After we were in here last night, we were in quickly, quietly, got his deer and got out. This morning there was another shooter back in here on camera. So, that bodes well for what we're trying to do in here. Went and checked some other cameras today. I did find a couple of new bucks. And there's 2 of them in there that would get the job done for sure. One of them's got a double beam on his right side, sticking out about 12 inches from his base. The other one is a big frame 10. Pretty sure it might be the 10 Chris had in here, but not positive. So I'm gonna wait until the wind's right. The wind's gonna get right for where I want to be to hunt that deer with the double main beam. He's so fresh, I haven't even given him a name yet. We're gonna wait for the wind to get right, and when the wind gets right, we're gonna hang a stand. We're gonna get on that edge. I'm gonna throw Baxter out to see if he wants to dance. Then we're gonna send a rage through him. If I don't get the job done in here tonight. Well, a slow night for me in here tonight in the junkyard. I actually have haven't seen anything. We got a little bit of rain in the forecast for tomorrow morning, so it'll be interesting to see what we have to do in the morning. And then we're gonna get the north winds that I need. Once those north winds kick in, that's what I need. We're gonna have north winds for two days solid. And back to the south and then right back to north. These next couple of days should be pretty good.
A new morning, and Mother Nature decides to quench the soil with a steady rain. The wet weather puts a damper on things, and a halt on hunting for the day. This unexpected pause in the pursuit only increases Casey's anticipation to get his boots off the ground and up in a stand for a fresh start tomorrow.
So this definitely might sound crazy, but Chris is already shot Bubba Booey. So I now have thousands of acres at my disposal, which is honestly a hard problem to have because now I have to try to figure out where I'm going to go. Normally we kind of have the little areas that we hunt and that's how we do it, but now everything is open. So it's like, whew, you know, I happen to be tonight, I was going to go back into the junkyard, which is where he ended up shooting. And there's so many deer in there and so many shooters that's what we're overlooking tonight. But I also had those two new deer that have not showed up 500-600 yards down in the junkyard, but they have showed up here on top. So that's kind of the plan, is to scout this tonight with the rain and see what's moving. I never in a million years thought that a couple thousand acres at my disposal would be a problem. But I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty tough to decide where I'm gonna go. I just gotta pick a deer and get after it.
Casey claims the inaugural sit on Capitol Hill Farm in a stand called Trump Tower. The stand is positioned southwest of an active bedding area, hugging the edge of a large CRP field. Bucks have been captured walking the line to scent check for desirable does in estrus. Just south of Trump Tower, Casey parks in between a pond and the southern point of the ditch and takes his sit 300 yards in. He uses his decoy Baxter to help lure in an impressive buck on the cruise.
Hey, there's a doe right there. Oh, there's a deer right behind her. Yep, it's a buck. Yeah, there's a buck right there behind her. It's got a good frame, but I can't tell which buck it is. It's a pretty good deer. Definitely a good deer. Can't tell which one though. We got a big 9 out here in front of us. I haven't been able to get a great look at his brows against that CRP. He's got a really good frame. He's a mature deer. Got Baxter right down in front of me here, but with the way this little hillside is, I just don't think he can see him. So I threw a couple grunts at him the first time. He heard them. Didn't really pay much attention. Snort wheezed at him. He didn't really pay much attention. I clicked the antlers together quickly. He definitely heard it, but he just can't see. There's no way he can see Baxter from where he's at. We because if he could see them, I think he'd probably come in here. But it's a tough call because he's got a doe with him and I can't get too aggressive. It's obvious he doesn't want to leave her side. You either get super aggressive and risk blowing her out, and if she blows out, he blows out. Or you be patient and let him play out. Toy with it a little here and there and see what happens. I've toyed with it. He hasn't come yet, so we'll see what we do here.
Darkness falls across the Kansas plains, and tomorrow is a new day.
It's just cracking daylight here. We're back up in the stand that we're calling the Drum Tower. Last night was election. Yesterday was election day. So last night was a long one. I stayed up all the way through 3 a.m., almost 3:30, watching the results. Good job, America. That's all I can say is good job, America. There's enough hard-working men and women in this country that showed up to vote on election day to make a difference. Donald J. Trump is now the president-elect of the United States of America. And we are going to make America great again. This morning, however, we're trying to find a big old buck to kill. So we're perched high up on top here in the CRP and Drum Tower. I got Baxter out in front of me. Got him in a little bit of a different spot than I had him yesterday, hoping these deer can see him from a distance, maybe a little bit better. He's not in the ideal location, but it should work, so we're gonna get after it, bang the antlers together. There's a buck out there way out on the ridge. Looks like just a youngster. Far ways away. I'm wondering if they can hear these antlers from there. I'm gonna go ahead and rattle. See if we can get him to make his way over here. It's a long ways, but you never know. Oh yeah, he definitely heard that. Here he comes. Coming right over the top. Definitely heard it. That's a good thing, because if he can hear these antlers from there, if we get the right deer, it's game on. He's locked on to Baxter. There's my shot opportunity right there. Bam. Gosh, why can't that be the right buck? Come on. It's good to see that it would work, though. He did exactly what I need him to do. It's like I drew it up and decoy illustrated. Where the chips. We'll be back in here this evening.
While Casey calls in keen Kansas bucks, Chris looks for towering antlers across state lines in Missouri.
Back after it. The grind continues in Missouri. The time has come again where Casey and I have split, and we are what we like to call divide and conquer. He is in Kansas. He's got a lot of land over there that he has to himself right now, and he's hopefully going to be able to hone into that buck that I had that we call Sundown, that Big Ten. And there's a couple other pretty amazing deer right there in that area, so hopefully he can pin one down in Kansas. So I'm pretty excited about that. Right now it's paying off because the rut's on. They're in lockdown phase, and I think we're catching these deer in between lockdown, just kind of seeking for the next one. That's what it looks like to me. So I'm in Missouri, Casey's in Kansas, and the rivalry continues.
With age comes wisdom. Young bucks are quick on the move, in hot pursuit of a receptive doe. But mature bucks have several seasons under their belt and know the ways to play the game. Many of these rut veterans have already begun courting a doe and will stick close to her side until the time is right.
Back up here in the jump tower this evening. Got pretty warm today and now it's dead still out. I mean, it's crazy calm. Still waiting to catch one of these bucks cruising out this ditch, or at least following a doe as she makes her way out. We've seen 3 shooters in here 2 different nights, so something's gotta give. We gotta get one up to see Baxter. I got him out in front of me. It's a risky game because if we get a buck fall on a doe, that doe's got to get close enough to Baxter to where that buck feels like he's threatened a little bit. And at that point, he should walk away from the doe to at least challenge Baxter. But it's a risky game. But if it works like it worked this morning, and I get a lone buck that's cruising, I can get him in here. We can make this happen.
Despite the certainties of Mother Nature, new challenges arise. As the night descends, Casey's efforts fall short and fruitless once again.
The soothing hum of a generator. It's pretty much the sounds that I'm left with here in camp. Been after it for a little while down here in Kansas, and man, we started off with a bang right out of the gate. We had Woody and Bob Marley underneath of us in no time, and pretty much dead since then. I know where they are in general, and that's the problem, is I know where they are in general. In terms of specifics right now, I don't really have a lot. I've got one deer, the White Walker, that's pretty much a ghost. Just trying to gauge where we are in the rut, and that's kind of the hardest thing when you're not actually seeing a lot of deer firsthand, is trying to gauge what they're doing and when they're doing it. So I'm not going to have a choice but to get aggressive. I'm basically going to have to get in and act like I know what he's doing and go to where I would go if I were him and see if I can make it happen. That's what I'm left with.